Hello and welcome to Holdredge's Crusade. Today we are in the Heroes Forge again to do the Emberclaw's sister quest. So this is a non-combat quest and the experience has been nerfed on it. But I did not read the text when I made the other video on it, so we're going to go ahead and go through it now and see what happens. So it starts here in Hero Forge right at this book. So if I'm trying to remember how to get the quest, there's a way to do it. I just can't remember. There we go. Double clicking on it got it to me. And then we get a journal entry on our screen. My beloved sister, this is dumb, isn't it? Writing journal entries as if you'll ever read them. It's been exactly 2,451 days since I last saw you, Kasha. I've met dozens of interesting people on my journey. I'm traveling with a boisterous bard named Shalawain. I think you'd like her. She's far too loud and, in my opinion, but you have a way of getting along with everyone. I am also journeying with an honorable dwarf, a kind elder, a moody dark elf, and even a bookish ogre. However, no matter how many people I meet, not a single one compares to you. I feel out of place among my companions. While they celebrate every victory we have over bandits and or monsters, I find myself growing more discontent about the world. Why are we surrounded by evil? What I wouldn't give for you to be here, reassuring me that we're always due. A big grin, a slap on the back, and while you say, don't make a storm out of a drizzle, that's a good one. Although you are lost right now, Kasha, I swear you will be found. There we go. So we get this, and now we go over here and talk to her about her entry. Hi again, Holdredge. How's life treating you? I don't have any errands for you right now, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to chat. It's been a while since anyone was interested in hearing about the work I do. Questions? What do you want to know about? More about things I create? More about my realm? I was reading my journal earlier and reminded me of so many fun stories from my past. I looked at your journal. Emberclaw raises an eyebrow. You looked through my journal? There are some stories I'm happy to share, but there are plenty more entries that are very personal. You ought to ask people for permission before rummaging through their belongings. She smiles awkwardly. I hope you didn't read anything too embarrassing. Let's change the subject, shall we? What about your entries about Kasha? Emberclaw's smile wiped away in an instant. Her eyes narrow and her ears twitch. I told you, drop the subject. Her voice is low and trembling. I don't want to drop it. Kasha is my sister. She's gone dead. Her hands become tightly curled fists. Are you happy now? Is that what you wanted to hear? I couldn't save her when she needed me the most. I wasn't there. She glares at you. You should go, Holdredge. Perhaps you shouldn't come back. Emberclaw goes from threatening to aggressive. Her lips curl into a snarl, showing her sharp teeth. Return to Lorian's Inn. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, let's make our way back over to the inn and see what happens. Alright, I think at the door it should trigger the next stage. There we go. Seek Thormir Helmsbane's advice at the Lorian Inn. Alright, he's over here. You got into a tiff with Elmra, huh? Oh yeah, you asked about Kasha. That's Elmra's sister. Hey, you're opening a can of worms. You asking about that? It's no wonder Elmra kicked you out of her forge. It's a sad story. I suppose I can tell you what I know if you're so curious. I am curious. None of us ever met Kasha, but from what I gather, she and Elmara, were thick as thieves. They lost their parents at a young age and had to rely on each other for everything. They lived a simple, nomadic life. They were talented anglers and made their money catching and selling fish. One day, everything changed. What changed? Elmara went to run errands, and then when she returned to the camp, Kasha had simply disappeared. It had a mighty big effect on Elmara. Ye can't blame her. That was her last memory of her last family member, and Elmara blames herself for not being around to protect Kasha from whatever happened. When we met, Elmara spoke of Kasha as though she were still alive somewhere waiting to be found. I thought it was something admirable at first, but it got sadder as the years went by. The rest of the party and I knew Kasha was probably gone, but we indulged Elmara. Couldn't bear to see the pain on her face when anybody suggested that she might be time to stop looking for Kasha. By gone, you mean dead? And we get a box. Aye, sounds like you're opening up a wound that's never healed for Elmara. You couldn't have known, though she'll cool off if you give her a little space. She's always touched by thoughtful gifts, and that'd go a long way to making her a sincere apology. You're in luck because I happen to have a gift box. I had it for something else, but I can't think of it. I think Ian needed it more than I do. How about you collect some nice things and wrap them up in this? Since Elmara hardly visits the Lorien Inn, might suggest you check the kitchen for a treat, if my nose is correct. They just baked a batch of cookies. Alright. There's a shiny sitting right next to us. Think bro. Alright, so let's go in here and speak to Baker. Alright. Hail Baker. Mate, I got no time to chit chat with you. I got too much flying around the old noggin. She begins muttering to herself. The pie's got 5 minutes left in the oven. The bread dough needs to proof another half hour. The cookies should be cool down for 7. I heard you have some cookies. Then I get a cookie. Alright. Alright, speak to Clanghammer. Alright, he's right here. Clanghammer sighs heavily, then says, you wish to hear my tale? I mean, what is there to say? As you already may have seen, I just did what I thought was the right thing to do when I saw injustice happening. Oh, this is the wrong guy. That's the... not Clanghammer. This guy. This is the one we want right here. Elmara is upset with you? I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't know what you expect me to do about it. I'm sure you'll think of something. Do you know something that would help? Clanghammer appears vexed. I don't like being roped into the drama of other people, but I suppose one thing I dislike even more than seeing Elmara sad. I dislike even more is seeing Elmara sad. Clanghammer crosses his arms, clearly displeased. So what did you do? I don't know how to help unless you tell me the details. I asked to know more about Kasha. Ah, I see. You pushed Elmara to talk about a painful memory. A simple sorry won't cut it. But Thoromir is right. A gift might help her get her mind off it. Ponders quietly, but soon frustration takes over with a huff. He says, I can only think of one thing that may help. And I'm not pleased about it. What is that one thing? Elmara loves to read, but we don't get many new books around here. Rarely does a writer show up and decide to pen a novel during their stay, but by now, I'm sure Elmara has read everything on the shelves here. I happen to know of some literature that she has certainly never read. His jaw clenches before he finally says that is because I wrote it. You wrote a book? You sound surprised. I do have hobbies, you know. He leans forward and whispers, do not breathe a word of this to anyone other than Elmara. If I hear my name and the word wrote in the same sentence, you will have a problem. He strains himself out. Exit the main door of the inn, turn left. There's a garden with a fountain. You will find a brown box with a notebook inside, hidden between two flower bushes. Wrap that in your gift box. Then take it to Elmara. Do not read it. Got it? Now, let's pretend the conversation never happened. All right, so we need to go out there and get that. But first, we need to go upstairs and talk to another guy who's back at the end of this. Right over here, Thornal Greyleaf. Hey, buddy. Greetings. Elmara is troubled. Yes, she's cagey about her past. Like trees shedding their leaves and growing anew in the spring. I believe people, too, can set down their past to grow in new directions. Unfortunately, Elmara hasn't been able to let go of what she views as her former shortcomings. Can we help her let go? If only it were that so easy. We can give encouragement, but we can't heal her wounds for her. It's incredible how much of a mood can be lifted when you know your friends support you, though. Take this gift to her. She and I loved observing the world around us, and maybe this will remind her how much beauty there is in the present. Hopefully, this also reminds her how much I cherish her friendship, even if we haven't spoken in a while. All right, he gave us a flower. So there we go. Now we need to go get those documents right out here. Around the corner. All right, here is the little garden. Little fountain right over here. And I believe he said hidden behind some trees and some boxes. And there's the box. Click on that. We get a writing. But a thin booklet containing literature the King Hammer wrote. He implores you not to read it. This item is a perfect gift. All right. That is kind of funny. All right, so I don't have a bag that I can just readily move around. So let me move some stuff because we need to make a combine real quick. Throw all that in there. That is the dark wood chest. Just throw it there. There is the gift box. We open that up. We put the pressed pink daisy, the cookie, and the writings inside the book box. Click combine. And now we need to deliver the gift. All right. Let's see if we can get out of here. Speed of the Savior. So we're going to run back into Heroes Forge. Alrighty, we're back. Let's give her the gift and see what happens. What's this? She opens the gift box and peers inside. A small smile appears on her face as she looks at the cookie and daisy. Then a smile turns into a incredulous grin as she flips through the writings. You brought all this just to cheer me up? Thank you, Holdredge. I'm so sorry for getting angry earlier. When we have a moment, can we talk? All right, so we hit 124. We got 70% experience, or 11% into 124 now. And we completed the Partisan of Heroes Forge. So that is done. So we are less than 90% of the way to go to 125. And that is fantastic. There we go. We're done with this quest. I'm not going to continue the other two quests yet, I'm going to wait till I'm 125 to do those. They 2 follow-up quests to this called Lost in the Past and Found in the Present. Will reward you with a ring that you can bind to another player and instantly teleport to them through zones. So, like, I can be in Plane of Knowledge in my, let's say my Necromancer is here. I can just click my ring and I'll teleport to him. It's a great ring to get, especially if you box. Definitely something worth picking up, but we're going to do that later on in the series. But there we go. So Heroes Forge is done. That leaves us with Palomen and I believe Unkempt Forest Partisans to finish up. So that is another 40% experience. Plus we'll get 30% by just, I think, doing all of them. I think that's it. I think it'll do that. And maybe the, okay, we gotta look real quick. All right. Yeah, so we have Mercenary Palomen too. So that is what? 17. Let's just round it up to 20 because you're going to get kills, right? 20 for this partisan too. Yeah, that's 40. And then let's just say 10 because we're going to get more than 2% experience just for doing that. So that's 50% experience from these quests here. And then we are going to get, for the champion, when we complete this, we'll get another 26%. Let's just call this 30. So that was that. It's 50 plus 30. That's 80. So we get about an 80% experience that we'll get. So I think that is doable. By finishing that, we should be 125. There is also Paragon of Lorian's Song, which I have not done the Heroes Forge mission, which would also give us another pretty much level of experience. This is 34 plus 40%. So we have a lot of opportunity for leveling up before we're done with this. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.